917 on The Voice, WSJU. Give us a call, 718-990-6126. We have Peter Schwartz coming up at 9:30 to discuss the Jets. But, John, let me tell you something. I have not seen a more disgusting final 2 minutes that the New York Jets played than this past Sunday. And let me tell you something, all right? I think it's time to stop blaming Mark Sanchez for the reason why this team continues to falter, okay? It's not his fault, all right? Granted, when he looked bad, he looked the worst, okay? But when he's good, okay? And he's solid. Am I going to say Mark Sanchez is the best quarterback in the league? Absolutely not. He's probably down to the bottom 10 if you want to put it, on a list. But here's the problem that I have with the Jets, okay? With all of that said, do you want the quarterback that's going to put up stats, or do you want the quarterback that's going to give your team the lead?
Quarterback that's going to give your team the lead.
Okay, now if I'm right, the Jets had the lead with 2 minutes to go, and their defense can't stop them. It's time to stop blaming Mark Sanchez and the offense for the reason why this team is terrible. It's the defense's fault. Tom Brady totally dictated those last 2 minutes and did what he wanted with the Jets and got the Patriots in field goal position. It was just brutal, all right? And I blame this loss on Rex Ryan. You have to. You have to blame it on the coaching staff, and you have to blame it on the defense. If Rex Ryan's going to, if he's going to claim that the defense is his and he's responsible for it, then you got to take the blame. And for Tom Brady, I don't care who it is, all right? Tom Brady's going to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of this generation. I get it, and he's done this before. But you've got to make a stop. It gets ridiculous. They're at 3rd and long, you can't make a stop? Are you kidding me? All right? It's the defense's fault why they lost this game. It was not on Mark Sanchez. Okay, now granted he threw the interception when he underthrew Stephen Hill. Speaking of Stephen Hill, that guy drops more balls than AT&T drops phone calls. It's terrible, all right? He drops the ball on first down. That would have given them the first down, I beg your pardon, okay? Then he totally overruns the ball that was intercepted towards the end zone. This guy is killing Mark Sanchez. Okay? Now, we've seen what Mark Sanchez can do with real weapons. Braylon Edwards, Santonio Holmes, hell, even Plaxico Burress. Okay? What he can do when you give him some receivers, he can look like a good quarterback. This team and this coaching staff has never trusted Mark Sanchez. Absolutely not. In the first 2 years, they got away with it because they got so far, and their defense was good. All right? Now their defense is mediocre, and you have to realize that, we have a subpar offense with a mediocre defense, and we're not going to get far, and 8-8 is exactly what you're at. But if they continue to baby Mark Sanchez, and let me get this right, his 4th NFL season, you've got problems. And bringing in Tim Tebow doesn't help either, okay? He's there. He should be the quarterback. If you're going to bring him in, he's got to be the quarterback. Okay? Tony Sparano, awful. He's just terrible. It's time for that experiment to end. I don't care what he did in Miami because he didn't do anything in Miami. Okay? You bring in a guy from a terrible Dolphins team and you have his offense, being implemented into this. What are you going to get? Anything's better than Brian Schottenheimer, but they just do not let Mark Sanchez throw the ball. Okay? And that's what you do. And let me ask you something, all right? And I looked this up too. Let's name the last 3 Super Bowl champions. You ready for it? Last year was the Giants. The year before that was the Packers, and the year before that was the Saints. You ready for this? Those 3 teams had great passing games and terrible running games. The Giants were ranked last year in rushing yards per game. Okay? So you don't need a ground and pound in the playoffs to win a Super Bowl. And we've seen that the last 3 years. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Eli Manning. Okay? You need your quarterback to come up big, and that's something that they couldn't do, and I blame this loss solely on the defense because they did not stop Brady in the last 2 minutes, and that's their fault. That loss was on them.